Hey guys, Maca here from Melee.co, and in this episode I want to talk about my most recent tournament results as well as how I am practicing. So there's been two recent tournaments since I last did an update. The first one was Downsmash 2.0, which is I took my monthly tournament and I'm making it twice a month. So 2.0 only had 11 people enter it. Usually I get around 20 to 30. That sort of number. So quite a small tournament, and I came fourth in that tournament, losing to two Captain Falcons, Thriles and Tranq, who are on a similar level to me. Me and Thriles, you go even with each other, and Tranq slightly better than me. Tranq is generally a Yoshi player, but he plays Captain Falcon against me at the moment because of the Peach-Yoshi matchup. So anyway, I came fourth in that. I really wanted to beat Thriles because then I would have been in third place and I would have made some money, which would have been the first time at a tournament ever. Even though it's only $5, make my entry fee back, it would have been pretty cool to be able to do that and to come third. But alas, I came fourth in that. So small tournament, not really happy losing to those two players, but I just didn't perform well against Captain Falcon, which is something I'll talk about in a sec. Then we had a tournament up in Brisbane called UQ23 in September 2016, in case you're watching this in the future. And there was 37 entrants, which is a pretty decent size for Queensland. And there was most of the decent players were there. I think we might have had one or two missing or something like that. So 37 entrants, and I actually came seventh in that tournament, which I was really happy with. So in pools, I had two easy people to play against, and then a guy called Russell, who's higher than me on the rankings, but I feel like I go pretty even with him. Most of the times we play, he beats me by one stock, or it's like last hit, last stock. So I was really excited to play him, hoping that I would win. Played in pools, and the first game was really close, but I clutched that out. Second game, he just trampled me on Pokemon Stadium. He's a Fox player, and I think he like 2 or 3 stocked me on that one. And then the last game, he banned FD, so we went to Dreamland, and I was up 2 stocks to 1, and I ended up losing that on like a last hit, last stock situation. So I thought I'd be really disappointed to lose that, but he played really well in those last couple of stocks. And I went into the tournament thinking, I'm just going to play my best and I'm not going to worry about results. So I wasn't too worried about it. I would have loved to have beat him in that scenario, but I didn't, which was unfortunate. And then we went into bracket and I played Thriles again, who's like my good mate from the Gold Coast, and he just tramples me. See, in the past, I would always beat Thriles. So he was considered better than me as a player, but for some reason we would play and he would beat me. But this time he like 2-stocked me both games or something like that. Like he clearly won that one. So went straight into losers, played against like an up and coming Fox who I was able to beat, fairly easily. And then after that, I then got put against Russell again in bracket. So we're playing him again. And it was basically a repeat of the previous game. So first game was on Battlefield. I just won it. And then the second game, we went to Pokemon Stadium. He didn't do as well against me. He didn't just trample me and 3-stock me. But he did still win. I'm not sure if it was by 1 stock or 2 stocks. But he won decently. Like it was definitely his game. And then he decided to ban Dreamland that time. So we went to FD, and I remember getting a couple of chain grabs on him, and I actually beat him on FD. And so that was the first time that I'd actually beaten Russell. And so that was really exciting for me to do. So I'm sure it was frustrating for him to lose, to me, who's considered below him. But I was really happy with the way that I played against him. And so, I was happy to beat him. And then I played against Skyte, who's another Fox player and who's probably considered not as good as Russell as well. And he 2-0'd me. So I didn't do as well against him. He played a really evasive game. So he spent a lot of time running around and then just coming in, hitting me and then running away. And as Peach, I find it hard to deal with that because I'm so slow of a character. I like that close quarters kind of gameplay, and he just didn't do that. And so most of the time I spent on the ground, and he would just come in and attack me. I wasn't getting a lot. And then I realized, I think I had 2 stocks left in the last game, and I realized I'm not actually spending any time on platforms. So I'll go up to the platform and, just see how that happens. And he was approaching me unsafely on platforms, and I was getting in down smash, which I could then follow up. Unfortunately, I was on Dreamland where the platforms are a bit wider, so it wasn't as easy. But I started to get ahead, but it was too little too late, and he won that. So I actually came 7th in that tournament out of 37. And so I was really happy with my placing at that tournament. Would have been awesome to beat Sky and to come 5th, or to even have a chance for 3rd or 4th. But I ended up at 7th place at that tournament, which I was pretty happy with the results of that. And then on Tuesday night, so a couple of nights later, I just went and a bunch of guys rocked up just to play friendlies, and I ran a casual bracket with no money or no stakes involved or anything like that. And it was a pretty stacked tournament with a lot of good players there, and I went 0-2. And so I was really unhappy with that. I lost to Tranq again, and who else did I lose to? I can't even remember the second person that I lost to. I've blocked it out of my memory because I was so frustrated with the way that I was playing and the fact that I'm struggling against Captain Falcon at the moment. But yeah, so I didn't do too well on Tuesday after I feel like I did pretty well at UQ. So they're my most recent results. I have been struggling against Captain Falcon lately and Falco. I just feel like I don't really know what to do with Falco when there's just so many lasers at me and things like that. I play a lot against a guy called Buins, who's a Falco player. He used to just laser and then run in and dare shine me, and I could roll out of that and get my opportunities. But now he's mixing it up a lot more, and he's playing really well against me. So I need to kind of relearn that matchup because he just had such a linear approach previously. So now I need to work on the Falco match. And also because playing against Fox, you can get crouch cancel, down smash quite often, whereas against Falco, you don't really have that opportunity. You can't run as much because Falco just lasers you and interrupts your dash. So yeah, that I need to work on. And then the Falcon stomp just gets me. Something Thriles said to me recently was when he was analyzing a match S2J versus MacD, he noticed that MacD went in a lot more with aerials. And so I've started trying to do that more, and I found that that's working a lot better. Whereas previously dash attack and down smash were just getting punished really badly. So dash attack into grab and then get all these combos by Falcon, or down smash, panic down smash and then get a knee in the face or get a grab or something like that. So I found that by doing aerials, that can counter stomp quite well, and I can get a nair in before the stomp comes out. But still I can't seem to win that matchup at the moment. So that's something that I do need to work on. But what I am practicing at the moment is actually playing against level 1 Foxes on just your regular melee. So this is something that Quetz told me that I should be doing. Is we did some coaching. If you've watched the previous episode, then you'll see the coaching that he did with me. And we went through and just looked at, I guess, the anatomy of the down smash, the 5 hits, looking at when the down smash hits them, what sort of follow-ups there are, how you can approach getting a down smash. So by crouch canceling his attack and down smashing by doing insta-float and aerials into down smash. So bear into down smash, or insta-float nair into down smash, and then basically just following it up and practicing combos. And I've actually found this to be really useful. I started doing this practice last week, and I found that when I was playing Foxes and sometimes even Falcos, my punish game had significantly improved against them on the weekend. So that was really cool to see that improvement already happening in my game. And I know that Amada practices this a lot, so that's probably something to talk about in another episode, but that's the way that I'm practicing at the moment, and just practicing, getting down smashes on Fox as well as following up and things like that.